Hey, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me today. I have something really cute, like really cute for us today. Let me actually grab it. We are making a bear with a Black History art. How cute is this thing? Right, I'm actually considering putting this in my shop, you guys. Like, this thing came out way better than I anticipated, especially because I was writing the pattern as I recorded this video. But this thing is really cute. In honor of Black History Month, this is February, so I was kind of going back and forth whether I wanted to do anything Valentine's themed, and if I did, I didn't want to do like the traditional pink, purple, white type situation. So, and I was kind of hesitant to do this one because it was actually a lot of work to put together, but I'm glad I did. It came out really cute. Like, I'm not lying to you when I say I'm actually really thinking about putting this in my shop. I might actually do it. But yeah, this is what we're making this week. I really appreciate you stopping by. I appreciate all the likes, all the comments, all the bells. It warms my heart, and I appreciate you so much. So let's go ahead and get into the pattern for this week. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to follow me on all the other social media platforms: Facebook, IG, Pinterest, Etsy. I am on Etsy, and I do sell a lot of the things that I make. Go ahead and check it out, and yeah, let's go. Okay, let's talk materials. This one is pretty material heavy. We will need, first and foremost, my absolute favorite, which is our 3.5. We will need a yarn needle, stitch marker, scissors. I used a row counter. Yeah, I'll leave it there. It's optional, but I would definitely use a row counter. Quilting pins. I always say they're optional, but for this project, it helps. I'll leave it at that. It helps. You can do without, but it definitely helps. You are going to need some polyfill. Let me just show you what that looks like. You will definitely need more than this, but this is the polyfill that I use. And you will need quite a few colors of yarn. So I use this Cafe for the base of my bear. So I'm making a brown bear. You will need, oh, let me pull this off my yarn wall. You will need this like beigeish color for the muzzle. That's what I used. And for the heart, I use the Black History colors. So I use the green, I use red, the yellow gold, and the black for the heart. The last thing you're gonna need is some, for me not to hit the camera, you're gonna need some plastic safety eyes. I used a size 10, so don't mind my post-it in there. I used a size, wait, we'll cover the post-it so y'all don't be judging me. Size 10 for the eyes. If you want to embroider the eyes, you know, go for it. That's totally up to you too. The very last thing you're gonna need is some coffee. I couldn't get through this without some coffee, so for me it's late. It's late in the evening. It's pushing midnight right now, so I needed some coffee to get through this. And I think that's it. So let's go ahead. Let me just double check. Yeah, let's go ahead and get to it. Okay, so let's start with the legs and the body of our cutie. Let me get situated here. Okay, so for the legs, leg number 1, there's going to be 2 legs, and then we're going to join them. So leg number 1, we're going to start with a magic circle, and then we're going to do 6 single crochets inside that magic circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me pull this tight without breaking my yarn. Okay, row number 2, we're going to do increases all the way around. And an increase is just 2 single crochets in each stitch. So just 2 in each stitch, and we're doing that all the way around. Rows 3 through 6 is going to be 1 single crochet in each So just 1 single crochet in each stitch for rows 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then fasten off for that leg number 1. Okay, so I've reached row number 6 for this guy, and this is what I'm looking like. I'm gonna go ahead and cut. I am gonna leave a pretty decent tail because we're gonna need that tail later. I'm gonna fasten off. I need to do another leg, so do leg number 2. Do not fasten off for leg number 2, and then I'll meet you back here to show you how to join. Okay, so this is what I'm looking like after I did my 2 legs. So this one, the leg number 1 is fastened off. This leg is not fastened off. So what we're gonna do now, I did place my stitch marker. We're gonna chain 3. 1, 2, 3. We're then gonna pick up our second leg and we're gonna attach after the fasten off. So my fasten off is there. I'm gonna attach right there. So attach with a single crochet, and then you're gonna single crochet in the remaining 11 stitches. Okay, when you get to the 11th stitch, it's gonna look a little funky right there, but that's okay. So we're gonna take that tail that we left. We're gonna straighten that stitch out by pulling this. Put this tail in the center because we're gonna need that later. We're then gonna chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and you're gonna attach to the stitch after our last crochet for leg number 2. So that for me is right there. That's that last stitch. I'm gonna go into the next one right here, attach with a single crochet, and then single crochet in the remaining 11. Okay, so this is what you should look like right now. This is what you should be looking like, and your tail should be in the center. So what we want to do now, I'm going to start over with our row count. So now the next row is going to be row number 1. It just makes it easier as a reference. So row number 1 now is going to be 1 single crochet in each stitch, and it should be 30. You should have 12 on each leg and 3 on either side of that chain. So you're putting 3 single crochets in the chain, 12 on the leg, another 3 on the chain, and then 12 around the second leg. So go ahead and do that, and then I don't know if I got a hold or something. And then I'll meet you back here. So let me just show you what this chain looks like. That's 1, 2, 3, and then I'm gonna start single crocheting into this chain in that first stitch, and then meet me back here once you're done. All right, row number 2 is going to be 4 single crochets and then an increase. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then an increase. And you're going to do that all the way around. And then rows 3 through 5 is going to be 1 single crochet in each stitch. So just 1 in each for rows 3 through 5. Alright, and this is what we're looking like so far. Row number 6 is going to be 4 single crochets and then a decrease. Sorry. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a decrease, and we're going to do that all the way around. For row number 7 is going to be 1 single crochet in each stitch. So just 1 in each all the way around. Row number 8, 3 single crochets and then a decrease. 1, 2, 3, and then a decrease, and we're going to do that all the way around. 9 is going to be 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around. Row 10 is going to be 2 single crochets and then a decrease. So 1, 2, and then a decrease all the way around. Row 11 is going to be 1 single crochet in each stitch. And we're going to do this all the way around. All right, and row number 12 is going to be our final row. We're going to do 1 single crochet and then a decrease. So 1 single crochet and then a decrease, 1 single crochet and then a decrease, all the way around. Okay, so we're going to fasten this guy off, leave a pretty decent tail. We may need that tail to sew the head to the body. I tend to make my tails longer than necessary, but that's okay. So what we need to do now is to stuff. Let me get my polyfill here. So we're going to stuff this guy pretty firm. The way I usually describe this is you're going to stuff it just before you start to see that white peek through your stitches. So you don't want to see the white come through, but you want to get to that point where it's just about to peek through. That's when you know you're fully stuffed. And I'm just going to pay special attention to get the stuffing into the legs. If you can see like my nail going against the sides there, just making sure I'm getting some stuffing into the legs. Now some of the stuffing will come out the center. That's okay because we haven't closed that hole yet. So just kind of work around that. But I'm gonna go ahead and stuff mine, stuff yours, and then I'll meet you back here. Okay, so this is what my guy is looking like so far after I stuffed. So now what we're gonna do is handle this tail that's in between the legs because we have that big gaping hole right there. So I'm gonna get the end of that tail, feed it through my yarn needle. And if you watch my previous videos, I usually sew front to back, right? But this time around, I want the legs to go in like that because we're making a cute little bear. So what I want to do is we're going to sew from leg to leg like that. So I'm just going to grab a stitch on this side, and I'm going to grab a stitch on this side and pull these guys together just like that. So I'm going to do this all the way down, and then I'll meet you back. Can't get in here. And then I'll meet you back here once I'm done. For these last couple right here, like I don't like that little buckle right there. I'm just gonna go in the center and I'm gonna pull up on the other side. And that's just gonna take care of that buckle for me. And my yarn came out of my yarn needle. There we go. And I'm just gonna go in one more time. That's just, I mean, I say it all the time, the small details in amigurumi matter. You don't have to do that, but I just didn't like that little buckle right there. Okay, and so that's what we're looking like so far. I'm gonna go ahead, put this up into a place where I can knot it, because it's kind of hard to knot it right there. I'm just gonna knot it real quick and then hide it in my work, and then we're gonna move on. And then hide this, and we're done. That's what our body is looking like, and I kind of dig it. Okay, so this is our body. We are done with that. We are going to start on the head. So for the head, we are going to grab our brown yarn again. We're going to do a magic circle, 6 single crochets in our magic circle, maybe 6 single crochets in our magic circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Row number 2 is going to be a row of increases, just like we did in the body or in the legs. So 2 single crochets in each stitch. Drills like that all the way around. Row 3 is going to be 1 single crochet and then an increase, 1 single crochet and then an increase all the way around. Row number 4 is going to be 2 single crochets and then an increase. So it's 1, 2, increase, Row 5, 3 single crochets and then an increase. 1, 2, 3, increase. 1, 2, 3, increase, and you're gonna do that all the way around. Row 6 is going to be our final row of increases, which is 4 single crochets and then an increase. So this is 3, 4, and then an increase. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then an increase, and we're going to do that all the way around. Alright, rows 7 through 10 is going to be 1 single crochet in each stitch. So have at it, and I will see you here once you're done with row number 10. Row number 11 is going to be 4 single crochets and then a decrease. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a decrease all the way around. Row 12, 3 single crochets and then a decrease. 1, 2, 3, and then a decrease all the way around. Okay, so this is what I'm looking like so far, and this is a really good place to add our eyes. So I'm going to grab my size 10, and I'm going to insert the first eye between rows 7 and 8. So let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Put that first one, and then we're going to put the eyes in stitches 1 and 7. So the stitch we just went in is going to count as 1. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is going to be there. And that's what we're going to look like. So let me put some more backs in here. And then we can move on. Row number 13 is going to be 2 single crochets and then a decrease. So 1, 2, and then a decrease all the way around. And then row number 15 is going to be 1 single crochet and then a decrease. So 1 single crochet and then a decrease. You're going to do that all the way around. Alright, so we are done with the head. Leave a long tail for sewing. You should have 12 stitches in the head to match the 12 stitches in the body. So this is what we're looking like. We're going to go ahead and stuff the head and then move on. Alright, let's talk, let's do the ears. So we are going to get our brown yarn and we are going to make a magic circle, 6 single crochets, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to close this guy. Close this guy up. Row number 2 is going to be a row of increases. So 2 single crochets in each stitch. All the way around. Row number 3 is going to be 1 single crochet and then an increase. So 1 single crochet and then an increase. 1 single crochet, then an increase all the way around. Row number 4 is going to be 1 single crochet in each stitch. And you're just going to do that all the way around. Okay, so now what we want to do is pinch the sides together, just like that. And we're going to crochet along the top, picking up a stitch on each side. Just like that. And we're going to do that all the way down and then fasten off. and our ear is done. You need 2 of these guys. So fasten this one off, leave a long tail for sewing, and then you're gonna make another one. I mean, unless you want your better to have 1 ear, that's fine. But this is what your ear should look like. That's what our ear should look like. And what I like to do is just kind of drape it down a little bit so it's easier to sew on. But that's what it should look like. And you need 2 of these guys. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it to your own devices to do that second one. And we will come back to do the arms. Okay, for the arms, we are going to start with a magic circle. And we're going to do 4 single crochets in our magic circle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to do an increase in row number 2. Two single crochets in each stitch, which is an increase all the way around. Rows 3 through 10 is going to be 1 single crochet in each stitch. So you should have 8 stitches at this point, and we're going to do 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around to row number 10. So go ahead and do yours. I'll do mine, and I'll meet you back. Alright, so when you reach row 10, you should be looking something like this. And what we want to do is pinch, just like we did with our ear, and we're going to crochet across, picking up 1 stitch on each side, just like that. Leave a long tail for sewing, and that is done. You need 2 of these guys, so go ahead and make another one, and that is done. Alright, let's start with the muzzle. So for the muzzle, let's start with a magic circle. And we're going to do 6 single crochets. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Row number 2, we are going to do an increase. Row of increases. I can get in there, good lord. Okay. A row of increases, and you're gonna do that all the way around. Row number 3, we're gonna do 1 single crochet and then an increase, 1 single crochet and then an increase, and we're going to do that all the way around. And this is what we should be looking like. Go ahead and cut, leave a long tail for sewing. We're going to put this aside. We'll add the nose to our muzzle a little bit later. Now it is time to start our heart. So let me, where did I put my black yarn? Alright, so we're going to start with a magic circle. For row number 1, oh, you're going to be a problem, aren't you? Magic circle, 6 single crochets in our magic circle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We are going to do an increase for row number 2. Ooh, this is hard to see. So increases in each stitch, and we're going to do that all the way around. Now for rows 3 through 4, we are doing 1 single crochet in each stitch, just one in each. You should have 12 stitches at this point. So do your rows 3 and 4, and I will meet you back here. Okay, and that is the tip number 1 for our heart. And what we're gonna do is fasten off, leave a long tail, and you're gonna duplicate that. So you're gonna do this one more time because those are gonna be the tips of our heart. So do that one more time. On the second one, do not fasten off. Kind of like what we did with the legs, right? We're gonna join them together. So go ahead and do that and I'll meet you back. So I'm at the end of row number 4 for my tip number 2. And what I'm actually gonna do in this last stitch is switch to my green. If I can find the end of my green. Switch to my green. And then we are going to move our stitch marker. Okay, so now what we're going to do is connect our tip number 2 to our tip number 1. And let me cut this. Attach our tip number 2 to our tip number 1. And the way we're going to do that is exactly the same as we did the first time. So we're going to take our tip number 2. We're going to look for the fasten off. With the black yarn, it's kind of hard to see, but my fasten off is right here. I'm going to go into that next stitch and then just attach with a single crochet. Attach with a single crochet, just like that. And I'm just going to go around. So you should have 12 stitches in each heart, which should give you a total of 24 when you're done. So go ahead and do this. And I may just do a speed crochet so you can kind of see what this madness will look like. And this just looks crazy because I crochet over my tails. If you have seen my videos in the past, you know I really hate weaving in ends. So if I can crochet over them as I go, I definitely will do so. Okay, there we go. All right, so for row number 6, we are doing 4 single crochets and then a decrease. At the end of this row, we are going to switch to our yellow. So just a heads up. All right, so we're doing 4 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a decrease, and you're going to do that all the way around. All right, I made it to the end. Our last stitch is a decrease, so you will have to pull that yellow through all of these to change the color. But that's okay. So pull through all of those. And then for row number 7, we're doing 1 single crochet in each stitch. Alright, 1 single crochet in each stitch. And obviously, you're going to do that all the way around. Again, don't pay me no mind, I'm just crocheting over my tails here. But go ahead and do your single crochets all the way around. Alright, row number 8 is going to be 3 single crochets and then a decrease. So 1, 2, 3, and then a decrease. And at the end of this row, we are going to switch to our red, and that's our final color. So go ahead and do these, and then I'll meet you back here. Alright, for row number 9, and I've already changed my color. Row number 9 is going to be 1 single crochet in each stitch. Just like we did with a couple rows ago. And I'm going to crochet over my tails here. So go ahead and do yours, and I'll meet you back here once you're done. I think now is probably a good time to stuff because our hole is going to get really, really small. We're going to do another 2 rounds of decreases. So let's go ahead and stuff, paying special attention to the tips. This guy shouldn't take too much stuffing because it's so small. but we'll see. Alrighty, row number 10 is going to be 2 single crochets and then a decrease. 1, 2, and then a decrease, and we're going to do that all the way around. And our final row is row number 11, and we're going to do 1 single crochet and then a decrease all the way around. Alright, I just cut off my yarn, leaving a long tail for sewing. Actually, I don't need a long tail now that I think about it, but I am going to fasten this off. And we need to close this hole up. So let's go ahead and thread our needle. Yeah, we don't need a long tail actually, because we're not sewing this to anything. I mean, you can sew it to your bear if you want to kind of keep it in place, but we really don't need to. Alright, so I'm just going to sew this up. I'm just going to hide this yarn somewhere in there. And then we're just going to cut this. I don't need it. Alright, for the black, we are going to sew these together. And we're going to go front to back when we sew this, because remember, if we go side to side, our heart is going to be like that, which, I mean, it's not a bad look, but that's not what I'm going for. So I am going to sew front to back, which means I'm gonna push the stuffing in and then find a single crochet that I can pull up, go back in this side and come up through the other side. Come on, be nice to me. There we go. And then just pull tight. That'll do it for me, I think. Alright, and that is what our heart is looking like. Super, super cute. I'm just distributing that stuffing evenly. So that's what's going to go on our bear. So now we need to assemble. The first thing that I want to do is grab my yarn needle, and I want to make the nose on the muzzle. So I'm going to grab some yarn, cut quite a decent bit off, grab my muzzle, and what I like to do for the muzzle is just go in through the center, and we're gonna go let's go 1 row up, and I'm just gonna go into the magic circle again. I'm just gonna wrap again in that same hole, just like that. Next I'm gonna go into the next hole, just like that, and go into the magic circle and do it again, and then do the next one, just like that. That's kind of like a chicken foot. Alright, and then now what we're gonna do, kind of spread them out a little bit so it helps to cover up those little holes right there. Now what I'm gonna do is go in through that first one that we made and wrap over to the last one. And you see how it helps us to close up those holes? And we're gonna do that a couple more times, maybe even 3 times, just to cover it completely. We might get away with just 3 total. Just like that. Yeah, we can get away with 3. You just want it to where the gaps aren't showing anymore. And then what I'm gonna do is from the back, I'm gonna come up about, I don't know, 2 rows down, whatever looks good for your bear. 2 rows looks good for me. And this is gonna be like the little line from the nose to the mouth. You know what I mean? Like that. That looks good for me. And then I'm just gonna knot this off. And this is actually ready to go on our bear. Cut the excess. And that is ready. Looks good to me. Okay, what I think is a good idea for us to do is to work on the bear itself. And so what I'm going to do is pull out my handy dandy quilting pins, and I'm going to take that muzzle that we just made. I just flicked it somewhere. Here it is. And I'm going to stick the pin right into that magic circle, just like that. And I'm going to find where it makes sense to place it. And I'll tell you once I place mine exactly where I placed it. So for me, if I'm looking between the eyes, 1, 2, 3 rows from between the eyes, and as center as possible. That's probably better. Yeah, as center as possible. You see that? You see where I am? Center as possible, and I'm gonna put a pin there. Gonna put a pin at the top right here, and that should hold it in place while I sew. So then I'm just gonna thread my needle, move these out the way before I poke my eye out, leave this tail alone, and I'm just gonna sew this thing around. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this, and then I will meet you back here. And for those of you who have never sewn on pieces of amigurumi before, I'm literally just taking a stitch in the muzzle, and then I'm going through essentially a row. So I'm taking a stitch in the muzzle, pulling up, going back into the next stitch of the muzzle, and then what I mean by taking a row is I'm literally just like taking a row like that, and then just doing that all the way around. So go ahead and do yours, and I will do mine, and I'll meet you back. All right, and that's what I'm looking like. And I knotted my yarn onto just an arbitrary place on the muzzle, and then I pulled it through the bottom. When I'm done, or actually I can do it now to show you what I actually do. I just roll this thing on my finger and stuff it on the inside. You can cut it if you want, but I just find like if by some chance this thing decided it wanted to unravel, it won't. Because that long tail is stuffed in there. Okay, so what we want to do now is, this is the problem with flicking everything on my desk. I never find it when I need it. Okay, let's find our ears. Let me find my ears. Okay, so here's my ears. I'm actually going to use my quilting pins again, and I'm going to find where I want to put my ears. So for the ears, what I like to do is just go through the top. And I do curve them just a little bit. And let's find out where this is the cutest on here. Do you want it to the side like that? I think that's probably cute. And let's do the same thing for the other one. Let's see. I think that's pretty good actually. So it looks like I am the tip of this one. Do I want to go forward a little bit? Ooh, that's cute forward. Oh, that was too forward. Okay, so it looks like I am, let me pin these down so I can get a better picture. Okay, that's what we're gonna look like. So it looks like I am, if I'm looking underneath the eye right here, I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 stitches away from underneath the eye for the tip of this one, and it looks like I am about row number between rows 2 and 3 for the top. And then you're just going to do the equivalent on the other side. So we said 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, right on the money, right there. Look at that, right there. And then between rows 2 and 3 at the top. So 2 and 3 is right here. Yeah, right there. And again, I curve it just a little bit back. Just a little bit. Curve it just a little bit to the back. And then I'm just gonna sew that in place. So that's what it's gonna look like. So I'm gonna sew mine in place and I'll meet you back. Okay, so this is what I'm looking like, and this thing is adorable. It's super adorable. Okay, so now we're gonna attach it to our body. Oh, look at it. It's so cute. Okay, so you can do this one of 2 ways. You could get, if you see my previous video, I had a quilting needle and I just kind of stuck it down the center. You could do that, or use a dowel or something to hold it in place, or you could just kind of rough it out and hold it, which I'm actually going to do today. So I'm going to take the tail from the body. It doesn't really matter which tail. Like I was telling you before, I have a tendency just to leave long tails just because I don't know what I want to do later. I want options. So I'm going to take the one from the body. I'm not going to cut the head just yet because I may want to attach the heart to the body. I'm not sure yet. Y'all know I make these things up as I go. My patterns are never fully made when I record. I definitely make it up as I go. Okay, so I am just picking up a stitch in the head, being very careful to hold it in place. And then I'm gonna pick up a stitch in the body. I'm gonna do that all the way around. Alright, so go ahead and do yours, and I will meet you back here once I am done with mine. Okay, so I am almost done sewing this thing together, and what I want to do is stuff the neck a little bit more, because otherwise it's going to be a little bit of a bobblehead. So I'm going to stuff the neck, put a little bit more stuffing in the head right here just to fill that gap, because remember, we stuffed the head and then we stuffed the body, but we're putting it together, so there's going to be a little bit of a gap there, and we don't want that. So we're gonna just put some stuffing there so it's nice and full, and then we can continue sewing. Alright, and this is what we're looking like when it's all sewed. I do have some cleaning up to do. You see how I put up some polyfill there? I have to clean that up. But for the most part, he is good. Now, trick of the trade. If you decided to do what I did and you just held your head to your body and you notice that your head kind of leans to one side, what you could do, if you watch my last video, I'm going to tell you the same strategy that I did last time. You could do another round of attachments, and what that looks like is you just literally would pull up a stitch in each, the neck and the head. That's a good place right there. And you would just go all the way around again, and be sure to like hold it in place again, and be sure to connect it one to one, and it's gonna help turn the head for you. So just a little trick of the trade. If you came out great, then fine, you don't have to worry about it. But if you're a little bit cocked to the side and you don't want that, you can definitely try that trick. Okay, now we want to grab our arms, quilting pins again, and we are going to stick our quilting pin through our arm, just like so, and then find the best place for this, because we want the bear to be holding the heart. Oh, I like it right there. But I think I want it kind of parallel. Let's see. Let's get our heart and see if that looks good. Oh, I like it right there. Okay. So let's get the other one, and once I place mine, I'll show you exactly where I'm putting it. Right here, and in line with the ear. Okay. So where I end up putting mine is, if I'm looking at my neck, I'm 1, 2, 3, 4 rows from my neck and in line with my ear for the most part. And so what I'm going to do is angle them down so that we're hugging the heart like this. So I'm not going to sew it like this. I'm going to sew it kind of angled down like that. And so let me thread my needle. And then let me just sew this thing. And I'm gonna do this, it's not very camera friendly, so let me do this. I'm gonna do the other side as well, and I'll meet you back here. Okay, so I made it to the end of my arm, and remember I said you leave a really long tail, right? So what I'm gonna do is pull up this tail somewhere in the belly, and what that's gonna help us do is, this is just a tail for my head, let me get that out of the way. It's gonna help us to attach the arm to the heart. So it doesn't really have to be in a specific location, just somewhere in the belly right now, and then we can always adjust later. But let me go ahead and do the other arm, and same thing, I'm going to pull up my tail through the belly, and then we'll be back to do the last part, which is to attach the heart. Okay, this is what we're looking like. Our bear's looking kind of crazy right now, like, hug me, hug me. Okay, so what we need to do now is take our heart. Ugh, I got polyfill all over my heart. Good Lord. And I just put it on my bear. That was smart, but there you go. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stick a pin right through this thing because I don't know where exactly I want to place it. So I'm gonna stick a pin in. I know I want the arms to kind of hug it down low, like that. So I'm gonna stick a pin there too. Being careful not to stick myself. It almost got me. And then do the same thing with the other one. Let's see if we like that placement. Gotta pull this in a little bit like that, like he's hugging the heart. Do I like that? Oh, I do like that. Okay, so how are we gonna attach this guy? So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take those tails from the belly. Remember, I said leave the tails in the belly, and I'm gonna go up through the arm, just like so, and I'm gonna attach it to our heart. I'm attaching between the yellow and the red because that's what makes the most sense for me. But feel free to be as creative as you need to be in how you attach. Sorry, I got concentration mode going right now. There we go. And we're gonna go back in through here. Alright, I think we're good. Let me just knot this. And what I think I want to do is I think I want to go through the heart and into the body just to make sure it's super secure. I am going to do that. I literally just poked a hole through the heart and then just came out through the back here. And I'm going to do the same thing with the other side and then tie a knot with both the tails. And that way it's super, super secure. I told you I don't like things to fall apart, not on my watch. It is stupid to spend all this time creating something, you know, and then it falls apart. I don't like that. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing, try to place as close to the other one as possible. Looks like we were about there. And I'm gonna go through here. Because that's what we did with the other side. Just in reverse. Uh-oh, I think that's too high. Can you see what I'm doing? Yes. Ah! Earthquake! There we go. Alright, and then I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna go through the heart, through the body, and come out the back. Sorry, I have to take it off camera to get it all in there. Alright, just like that, we can take this off. And then what I'm going to do is meet these tails together. I'm going to pull them to secure my heart, and I'm just knotting. It's nothing special I'm doing off camera right now. And I am going to hide these in my work. Just, you know, a couple times, hide it in the work just so it for real don't come out. Cut this. And it looks like we don't actually need this tail, so I am just gonna, it's already fastened off, so it's not really going anywhere, so I'm just gonna hide it somewhere. We didn't need it after all. So just hide it in our work. And we're done. There he is. There it is, there it is. I got a tail here. Y'all just wasn't gonna tell me that I had this little straggler here, huh? And that is our bear. Alright, and this is what we are looking like. This is our Black History Valentine's bear. This is what we're looking like, and it's so cute. It's so very cute. This is the month of February, so this is Black History Month themed. I wanted everything to be in the theme to celebrate culture, my culture. So I was kind of going back and forth on whether I wanted to do like a Valentine's Day thing or not, and I decided to not and do a Black History heart bear instead, and I think it came out absolutely fabulous. So what can you do with this pattern, or what can you do with this tutorial, this, you know, project that you put together? You definitely can change the color of the bear. That would be kind of cool. I was going back and forth on what color I actually wanted my bear. I was kind of going between like a pink or a purple or even a white, but I landed on this brown just because a simple brown bear for me made the colors pop a little bit more. So that's how I landed on that. You definitely could change the color of the heart. I personally think these colors look absolutely amazing on this bear. It's something very different. So I like it. But if you want to change the color, you definitely can change the color of the muzzle. You can give your bear some eyelashes, a piercing maybe. You could change the way that the legs are attached. Remember, we attached them going in. You could keep them separate. That'd be cool. You could change the way he's holding the heart. So for ours, it's kind of like bent a little bit. You could just attach like going straight out. Possibilities are endless. It's only limited by your creativity. That's what I absolutely love about crocheting and amigurumi. There's always more than one way to do something, and there's always like a ton of creativity out there, like things I never thought of. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this was a really cool project. I had so much fun making this, and I literally made this as we went along. So thank you for coming along with me. as I was trying to figure my life out as we went. But don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to press that bell icon so you know when I drop new content, which is every single Monday. Rain, sleet, snow, shine, sick, vacation, I drop new content for you. 1, because I absolutely love to do it, and 2, because I know you are looking for it. There's a lot going on in the world. Oh my gosh, there's so much going on in the world. Make sure you stay safe out there, crochet some cool stuff, and meet me right back here next Monday for another tutorial. We are continuing with our Black History series, and I have a good one for you next week. So I'll see you then.